What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. So let me talk about Jermell Charlo calling out Terence Carwford. Calling out Bud. I like that energy. I love that energy. I didn't like the energy from Jermell Charlo in this fight. He was way too respectful to Canelo Alvarez. Gave him way too much respect. And I told y'all it was a bad sign leading up into this fight, seeing how respectful he was to Canelo compared to everybody else. Some fighters are always respectful when they're going to fight the same way. Jermell fights his best when he has animosity against an opponent. When he has something to prove, when he feels like the world is against him and he's carrying that chip on his shoulder. It was not present this time around. He was like, people can say what they want to say. I mean, people going to believe what they want to believe. I know he's a great fighter. He's a legend. I'm trying to get up there. I'm trying to get up to his level. He's an icon in the sport, and I understand why some people may feel like that. But, hey, people can believe what they want to believe. No, I like Jermell. Jermell fights best when he like, nah, fuck that. Okay? I'll beat everybody out here. These dudes is trash. I'm not scared of nobody. I'm willing to rumble, brawl, hitting dudes with every punch I can. I don't give a fuck who he is, what his name is, what his reputation is. I don't care who else he beat. He ain't fought no Jermell Charlos, right? When he got that energy about him, lions only, when he looking mean, when he feeling ferocious, when he feel like he's invincible, when he feel like I don't care what this dude did, I don't care what they say he good at, we gonna game plan and I'm gonna break him down. When he talking that shit, he has a different vigor in him. And I didn't see the fire, the vigor, the desire in him that he had when he fought Brian Castano the second time around. When he fought Tony Harrison the second time around, right? When he was going against, when he was out to prove something, when he was going and trying to get them belts. Hey, son Rosario got the belts from him. I didn't see that same fire in him. You know, and again, way too respectful. Fighting Terence Carwford, yeah, you can be respectful of his abilities. You can be smart, and you got to be smart. You got to be have your ring IQ got to be great. You got to have controlled aggression. You can't just be sloppy, but at the same time, you got to fight with vigor. Okay, you got to fight with fire. I believe there will be fire there because there's so much built up animosity between the two. I seen Terence Carwford basically was like, man, you went in there and laid down for that man. You went out there, laid down. You got spanked by your daddy. He went in there. You laid down for him. You cowered like a cub. I'm paraphrasing, but that's the type of stuff Terence Carwford was saying. And to be honest with you, I felt like, yeah, Jermell was not active enough. I felt like he was playing gun shy, going away from things that he was having success with, like throwing in combinations. I feel like he was giving him way too much respect to the point that Canelo didn't respect him. Canelo had his hands down. I mean, pity-patting around at times. Canelo wasn't worried. He was walking Jermell down because he knew that Jermell wasn't even if he could hit him with something, he wasn't going to try to hit him with something consistently enough to where it would be like, oh, shit, I got to watch out for this, right? I personally think Terence is more skilled than Canelo, right? Yeah, Jermell didn't get knocked out. He got knocked down. He didn't get knocked out. But, yeah, I feel like Jermell was going into that fight looking for a moral victory. You can't come in there with that same attitude against Terence Carwford. Terence is going to try to hurt Jermell worse than he's ever been hurt before because of all the stuff that's been taught for a while, and Terence is out to prove something. He's out to prove that this is his era. He wants to be undisputed champion in 3 different weight classes, and then he wants to fight Canelo Alvarez for his belts so he can say he was undisputed in 4 different weight classes. And if that brother pulls that off, oh my fucking God, Terence Bud Carwford is a boxing god. I'm not, y'all know I'm an Errol Spence, my dog, but I got to call it how I see it. But in a fight against Terence Carwford, no, no, no. You cannot be that respectful. You can't be out here happy to be in a moment. You can't be out here, you know, taking your foot off the gas. You can't be pot-shotting all night. Be smart. You gonna land some good pot shots, but you gotta go after it a lot better than that. People trashing Derrick James once again. Nah, that's Jermell. That ain't on Derrick. Derrick telling him to go after him, and even after Derrick telling him to go after him, telling him what to do, Jermell not doing it because I think he was scared of getting clipped. He didn't want to go in there and get clipped and get hurt bad. He had hurt earlier in the fight, and so yeah, he chose to just pot shot at times and then throw combinations here and there. And I'm tripping out because when he threw combinations, that's when he had his most success. That's when he was his best success. That's when he was most successful. So yeah, man, this Terence Carwford is a whole different bag. And he gonna have to go in there and fight balls to the wall. Pause. He gonna have to go in there like, fuck it. I'm going in here, not just recklessly, but he's gonna have to be willing to throw punches in combination. He's gonna have to throw combinations. He's gonna have to go in there and try to hurt him, go after him at times. He's gonna have to be able to try to come land him with some flush, tough shots. It ain't gonna just come from one shot at a time and then clinching. It ain't gonna come from you know, just sitting on your hand. Just being indecisive with shots. It's not gonna come from, you know, your volume being okay. At certain times in that fight, he's gonna have to pick his volume up against a Terence Carwford at times. And I said it before in my previous video. At times, I wish Jermell had the punching volume of Errol Spence. Errol gonna throw 1,000 punches in a fight. He gonna keep throwing. Okay? Even if he hurt, he gonna keep throwing. And he gonna try to hit you with some shit to make you keep you honest. He didn't keep Canelo honest tonight, and so Canelo felt like he was in no danger. So his swagger was in, you saw his swagger all the way around. You cannot let Terence Carwford get his swag. He has to. He gonna come in the ring with swagger because Terence feel like he the best fighter in the world. And honestly, right now, he looks damn much like it. Okay, that swagger is gonna be present, and yeah, you let him get into his bag where you ain't trying to throw nothing too crazy at him. You being way too respectful. Yeah, he gonna try to have a field day on your ass. You know, he really is, and I think he's gonna want to beat Jermell viciously, like an Erickson Rubin, the way Erickson Rubin got beat against Sebastian Fundora. I think Terence is gonna try to put on that type of a performance. Okay, and Jermell cannot be in there sugarfoot. He can't be in there, when I say sugarfoot, gun shy. He can't be in there just, you know, not throwing in combinations. He can't be in there tentative like that. I mean, it's smart. You gotta be smart, right? You can't just be just whatever, just going in there for the gusto, going for the gusto and just be just reckless. Can't be reckless. But you got to be willing to let your hands go. You got to be willing to let your hands go. You got to be willing to get a little dirty to give that dirt back. You got to go out there and fight with vigor and passion and fire and will and resiliency. You got to go out there in dog mode. That's when I feel like Jermell is at his best. He hurts opponents best when he's in dog mode. And tonight, he wasn't really in dog mode for real. He was just there just not to get knocked out at times, I felt like. And you can't fight like that against Jermell Charlo against Terence Carwford if you want to win that fight. It's going to be a tall task anyway because I feel like Errol is a better boxer than Jermell, right? Jermell might have a better chin than Errol. He probably have a better chin than Errol. But I feel like Errol was a better boxer than him because I don't think Errol would have lost a fight against Tony Harrison. I don't think he would have lost a fight against Castaño, even though Castaño's tough and he's a volume puncher. I feel like Errol Spence would have figured that out, right? Yeah, even against Rosario, I feel like Errol would have beat him in cleaner fashion, even though he stopped Rosario. But earlier in the fight, Rosario was having some success, and Jermell didn't look as sharp as I feel like I wanted him to look going against Rosario before the stoppage at times, right? So yeah, man, I think he's going to have to be in dog mode. And he can't be just giving Terence all the respect in the world. At some point, he's going to got to go in that fight and hit Terence with some shit to keep him honest and back him the fuck up. Because Terence is going to try to walk Jermell down at times. Jermell got to use that size. Got to use some strength. You got to use a heart to keep Terence up off of him and to land something effective. Canelo Alvarez got the best chin in boxing. I knew he wasn't going to knock Canelo out. But I'm like, dang, at least, excuse my hair all crazy. I'm like, man, at least keep throwing them combinations to confuse him, to throw him off and finish off at the end of the combinations. Right? Like, laying at the, because some of that was just busy punches. I mean, he was trying to throw it, he was missing. But it was busy enough to where it had Canelo thinking, and next thing you know, Canelo getting hit with something in his face. But yeah, man, you're going to have a way better mindset mentality. You're going to have to fight like you trying to knock Terence out. You're going to have that same vigor and passion. You can't be like you was tonight. You know, you can't be too respectful like that. But I'm ready to see the fight. You know, Terence is a world-class fighter, a generational fighter. We shall see if Jermell Charlo is the same. Machiavelli Mills TV, I'm out. Peace.